Here we're going to look at the sum of an infinite series. And you can see here an infinite series, the upper limit has the infinity symbol, meaning it's going to go on and on and on. When we look at sum of infinite series, sometimes we start by looking at partial sums. So we're going to look at the limits of partial sums. So limits of partial sums, here it says find the first 6 partial sums of the following infinite series. And then if the sums have a finite limit, meaning if it goes to just one number, it's getting closer and closer to one number, we're going to write that it's convergent. And if not, if it's not going to just one number, then it's divergent, meaning it does not have a limit. All right, so when they want us to find the partial sums, the first 6 partial sums, well, the first partial sum would be just taking your a sub 1. The next one would be your a sub 1 plus your a sub 2. Then the next sum would be a sub 1 plus a sub 2 plus a sub 3, and so on and so forth. I think you can see where we're headed from there. So finding our partial sums. Our a sub 1 is just negative 2, so our first partial sum is just negative 2. Our second partial sum, we're going to take a sub 1 plus a sub 2. So you get negative 2 plus 2. That's going to give us 0. Okay, well then I'm going to go a sub 1 plus a sub 2 plus a sub 3. So here I'm going to take the first 3 terms. So negative 2 plus 2 plus negative 2, I'm going to get a partial sum of negative 2. Then I'm going to take the sum of the first 4 terms. So negative 2 plus 2 plus negative 2 plus 2, and again I'm going to get 0. If I add the next term to that, which is a negative 2, you're going to see that I'm going to get negative 2. And I need one more sum, and from our pattern up here you can see that that's also going to come out to be 0. All right, so looking at the sums here, I'm alternating from negative 2 to 0, negative 2 to 0. So I'm not going to just one number, and because I'm not, my limit is not going to just one number, this one is considered to be divergent. Okay, the next one, we're going to again do the same thing. So we're going to write down our pattern here. And our a sub 1 sum, our first partial sum is 1. My next partial sum would be a sub 1 plus a sub 2. So 1 plus negative 0.7. That's going to come out to be 0.3. My next partial sum is going to be 1 plus negative 0.7 plus negative 0.07. And that's going to come out to be 0.23. Next, I'm going to have 1 plus negative 0.7 plus negative 0.07 plus negative 0.007. And I'm going to get a sum of 0.223. The next one, I'm going to add all of the terms that you see up here. And I'm going to get a sum of 0.2223. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers so far. We want a 6th partial sum. And you can tell from the pattern up here that my 6th partial sum should be 0.22223. Okay, so there's my 6 partial sums. And in this one, if you notice from left to right, I'm getting closer and closer. So the further in terms I go, closer I get to a sub n, I'm getting closer and closer to 0.22 repeating. So this one, is going to a limit, so this one is going to be convergent. So you've seen an example of divergent and an example of convergent. And this includes our infinite series and our limits of partial sums.